Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this regularly scheduled meeting of the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation. It is Tuesday, August the 12th, 2025, and it's 4 o'clock. We have on the dais, oh gosh, who do we have on the dais? We have Mr. Johnson on the dais, and we're very glad he's here. Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. Johnson's glad to be back.
Colonel Richardson and Mr. Marks and myself, Rebecca Hillenberg. And we're very glad that Mr. Marks is here. Mr. Cox could not join us today, and neither could Mr. Hill, so we hope they make it next month. This is the opportunity for public communication. Is there anyone that would like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, public communication is closed. We're going to number 3A is to consider the approval of the minutes of the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation regular meeting, which was held on June the 10th of 2025. We've had an opportunity to read those minutes and go over them. Were there any comments or questions or corrections?
No.
Hearing none, what is the wish of the board?
Make a motion we approve the minutes of June 10th, 2025, as written.
And we have a second. We have a motion and a second. And any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Wrong.
Leading the witness.
Yeah, I am.
All those in favor?
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. That is approved, 5-0. Looking at 3.3B, is to consider the approval of the minutes of the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation special meeting that we held on July 16th, 2025. We've had a chance to look at those as well. Any other comments, questions, or corrections? Hearing none, what is the wish of the board?
I move to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? There are none opposed. The vote is 5-0. We're now going to the discussion and possible action on 4A, which is to consider authorizing the payment to Bay Area Signs and Electrical LLC for wayfinding and gateway signage related to the downtown improvement plan. We discussed this, and I'd like to take my hat off to you, Stephen, Aubrey, whomever, but you got some numbers for us, and we really appreciate that. That came in quickly. And would you like to bring us up to date on this, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I would be remiss if I did not thank the Parks and Recreation Department. They ran point on trying to get this information as fast as they could with a limited amount of turnaround. So I appreciate them very much. As the title states, this is all part of the downtown improvement plan, which was previously approved by voters and subsequently the EDC and the City Council. Kind of going forward from our workshop and from the special meeting, we were tasked with looking for entry and wayfinding signage, commonly known as the bookends, and then some of the other places of interest down the medians in FM 518. The board directed us to look at 6 locations, and the total cost, drive out installed with what is being proposed specifically here, is $36,253.30, and that is the fabrication, that is the installation, and anything else that's needed. If you'll allow me to get just a little further into it, and then I'm happy to answer any questions just as we kind of go along. So just for the groups, just the reminder, the Esplanade Gateway is what's being used as the bookends or the entrances to downtown, and then the directional signage is what's being proposed in the median sections as well.
So if I may ask, Stephen, I recall the workshop that the bookends were still under discussion, whether it was the vertical, tall, 8-foot skinny sign,
yes,
or
sir.
these. And so I don't recall a decision being made on this one particularly for the bookends.
You are correct. So it came in after the packet was sent out to the board, and I do have it here, and I can share. If you'll allow me to go through the next slide, I'll show you the locations, exactly what we're looking for. I do have a design and then a price tag separately on the tall vertical signs as well.
Thank you.
So these are the 6 locations that were provided for the before the signs. You did have the gateway signs. You had a Whispering Pines, which is realistically on the bridge as you come into downtown. The Captain's Corner and Hunter's Professional Park. There's a median there. So there are 2 signs. The direction was given for the Chamber and for Rotary. We do have a staff suggestion just to combine these into 2 signs and putting both entities on a single sign, really just due to the proximity of the 2 signs of both the Chamber and then the Rotary Pavilion. We can fit 2 signs in 2 separate medians, but they're going to be back to back. So you would come over the bridge and see a big one, and then you'd have 2 small ones basically back to back at the Chamber and then at Shadwell pointing you down towards the Rotary Pavilion. So our suggestion would be to just combine those 2 signs, and in visiting with the sign fabrication folks, the quote would be adjusted accordingly. Then you go down the street and you have the museum, which is basically in the median in front of Hometown Bank, and then you have the library, which is in the median section in front of the library. And I made it there. So allow me 2 seconds and I'll pull up. It was just easier to put this and leave it here. So, in regard to the large vertical sign, this is what was proposed by the fabrication folks. You're looking at 108 inches tall, which is very tall, and you're looking at a little over 3 feet wide, from point to point. These are I believe about $10,300 per sign. And you are correct that there was a conversation that was being had about which ones to go potentially for the gateway and for the entrance. And so this is the rendering, and I'll hunt down the price in its exact form here in just a second while you guys discuss.
So we might have 2 of these or 1?
So the proposal or the suggestion would be to have one of 2 things, either one on each end of downtown for the bookends.
Okay, that's what I was clarifying.
One on each end, or potentially 2, depending on the exact location of where you would want it. One on each side, or if you just want one in the median, or say one on the entry side coming into downtown. The Whispering Pines side of downtown may be a little easier in the right-of-way if the suggestion is to put it along the edge of the right-of-way. However, the opposite end of town by FM 2351, it is a very, very narrow section. So that one would most likely have to fit within the median in order to make it work without having to either get an easement. And then also, if we were provided an easement, you would be looking at getting into some of the new sidewalks or potentially even further in on private property. So as I hunt that down, if there's any other questions, I'll get you the exact amount, sir. 1 second.
So let's kind of, if we want to make a discussion about the large one versus the lower one, let's kind of separate this just for a bit to discuss, are we all good with all of the other entry signs going down 518? The one for the Chamber and the Rotary, the one for the museum, and one for the library, as to all being that lower, the one that was on the first picture. We good with that?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
good with the sign itself. I would still like to see 4 rather than 3, and then space them accordingly. It doesn't necessarily, in my mind, have to be a wayfinding issue as much as it is a branding issue. So the wayfinding is nice when it's coincident with a place that we would put it. But if you look at the length and the number of esplanades and so forth, 4 in my mind, as I drive down and count them, is a better number than 3, is what you're proposing here based on combining 2. I completely agree with the fact that we combine those based on their proximity to one another. But I would like to see the 4th one as well somewhere.
Just not have anything that it's marking.
Well,
Just be a plain one.
3 of them will be plain. there's no wayfinding associated, well, unless you're saying there's wayfinding with the museum and the library, there's.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
there'll be
So
there'll be
those are
Wait,
marked.
That's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with, again, it's a branding.
Just having
it's
just having a
It's
plain
a
one.
branding issue, yeah.
Just having a plain one. If
So,
we
and
were
that's part of the budget, so.
so, Stephen, if we were to do that, what would be the probable location of that fourth one? Thank you.
Didn't we used to have one at the post office?
Yep.
I
Well,
thought,
And I'm not seeing it on there. Sorry, I know I'm public.
well,
It was a sign on the right side of the road that just said Friendswood Post Office over there.
There's a standard street sign placed by TxDOT for the post office, but I don't believe there was ever a wayfinding.
There wasn't a what, finding?
It's
I
not
don't
there anymore.
believe
There
so.
was a post office sign. Just like there's a Friendswood Activity Center sign, which you could substitute for the fourth one.
Correct. But on the right hand side of the median, not necessarily in the.
No, it's not in the, yes, no, it's on.
Correct. Okay.
I thought
There's
there used to be one in the median,
For the post office?
but maybe not. To the
It was
post
I
on the
think
right
it was
side. As you were going that
right, but
direction.
I think she's speaking before our time,
Oh,
before us being here, a long time ago. Yeah, that's
okay.
why I can't answer whether or not it
I
was
don't know
there
for
or not,
sure,
because
but
it
I thought there was. He's been here as long as I have. Bubba? Paul has?
good, Bubba.
Remember Was it just a regular sign? Okay, never mind. Scratch that. But I thought there was.
I mean, there was a regular green sign that pointed, but, so is that another good location, Stephen?
I would have to confirm the median, make sure the width is there. If it's similar to others, it shouldn't be an issue. If it's just if having a wayfinding or directional apparently there was a meeting taking place in the back. I apologize for that.
Hey,
So
there's no apology needed.
So
I mean, it's
there,
all good.
if it's not a wayfinding or a directional concern, we can try to space it out as the medians allow, just to try to keep kind of keep
That's a good
keep it
idea.
uniform. And to your point, in this, if that's the case, combining two on this end by the chamber and the Rotary Pavilion, combining those two does not change the overall cost as it's presented here. We could just get that sign fabricated. We do have some time between moving forward with fabrication and placement, so there would be plenty of time to vet out a spot. Whether that's wayfinding or not, we would have plenty of time to do that.
So in other words, we would have 4 signs spaced between the 2 bookends,
Correct.
is what I'm hearing.
Correct. So we would have the 2 bookends, you would have the Rotary and Chamber sign, you would have a museum sign, the library sign, and then one additional placed in a spot that makes sense to the group. For sure.
What are the thoughts, gentlemen?
I like that.
Okay.
I think
Anybody else?
In my mind, the spacing seems like that activity center or post office area would be
A good
a
spot?
good spot compared to the others.
And if it's wayfinding, fine, and if it's not, it's okay.
And we can definitely, we'll look at both of those and we'll check the medians to make sure that we do have the space. That would be my only concern is, as you're familiar, some of those medians are nothing but concrete. And they may not be wide enough depending if it's a slip left turn or something like that. We'll have to confirm, but we should have some space along FM 518 to place a single sign for sure.
Yeah, because of the way the post office is, there's no street directly to it, so it doesn't
Correct.
have to be at any of the 3 intersections that will take you down to whatever the name is, or the name of the street the post office is on. So they could be in several spaces.
All right, so do we have a motion to?
One other, I would like
Yes,
to make a
go ahead.
comment. We have one for the museum, and I assume that's the Brown House.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Perry's museum as well? I mean, could that be combined with the library, because it's kind of behind the library?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something we need to identify.
We can definitely add that to the library sign just to put museum. They're both facing the same direction, so
Perry-
it works
Perry
out.
Museum.
It works out very well.
Okay.
Prior to any motion, I would like to back up and just visit real quick about the tall signs.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna separate
okay.
them, but that's okay.
The sign costs per the vertical of the tall sign $9,373.70. I'm gonna guess that's a 5 cents.
So basically
Can't-
10,000.
Can't see my own writing. Yes, ma'am.
And a
So
couple-
not significantly different.
75. So the
The other signs are 72
2,000.
each.
$7,200 a piece, 72.43, and then the smaller signs themselves. Let's see,
They're 37.
37.29. Yes, sir. So this is purely then, if the ones in from the wayfinding signs are we've got those covered, then this is just a purely aesthetic and,
I was gonna
and
say-
generalized area that we're kind of visiting about.
So can you put the pictures back up
Yes, ma'am.
for us, Stephen? Okay, there's the one that's 108 inches, correct?
Which is 9 feet.
Right. Oh, Stephen, you're getting fancy.
You're gonna speak way too soon.
No, you're doing great. And what is the height of this one?
That's 8 feet. It's 96 to the top of the sign.
So there we are.
All right, the width of the 96-inch one, I can't read it, I apologize.
Oh, sorry, it's 62. Wait, what does it say at the top? 86 at the top. It's 96 wide, so it's 72 is 6 feet, 7 feet, 7.5.
Whoa, will that fit on the median?
I had the same question this morning and asked them to confirm, and yes,
It will fit.
with space to fit. It's actually a lot larger than it looks like when you drive down. But I had the same thing this morning at about 5:30. I looked at the measurements and panicked. So so the one on the group's left as you're looking up with the original signage, which I think this is the gateway sign. Just the emblem itself, or the round portion itself, is about 5 feet wide, and then you do have the lattice work that connects it to the poles, and overall you're looking at 8 feet corner or side to side of the pole to pole, edge of pole to edge of pole. So it is quite a wide sign, and it fits good there in the median at the bridge. The one on the right is the vertical sign. While it is a lot, it doesn't take, the footprint is much smaller, only a little over 3 feet. It is 108 inches tall, so that's about 10 feet, 9 and change. 9 feet, sorry, about 9 feet tall. And the emblem itself, the downtown emblem itself, is about a little over 2 feet, 2 feet wide.
So it basically comes down to which one do we like the best?
Yes, ma'am. That, along with the proposed or preferred location, as mentioned, the one, say around 2351, I think we can fit it in the median. We do have the width in the median, but you would have a single vertical sign in the middle of the road. Same goes for the opposite side on the bridge coming into downtown, except there you could potentially put one on either side if you chose to, or just on one side, on the right-hand side coming into downtown, depending on the right-of-way width.
You could put one in the middle, though.
In the middle, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, my personal opinion is, I think the vertical signs look great in a wide open area where there's nothing around, but I think there's just too much clutter between the poles and the streetlights. That's my opinion. I like the lower sign, something that would focus your eyes down lower rather than to the sides.
I kind of agree, Paul, and I like that the actual branding sign is so much larger than even the taller one.
Well, I disagree, and here's why. So I like the idea of something significantly different on the borders, i.e. in and out. It's it was on before. Is it on now?
There it is. I
Okay.
can hear it.
Sorry. That delineates the beginning and the end. So this is different. It looks different than the other signs. Here's the beginning, here's the end. As far as Paul, you go, the thing will be in the middle, so it doesn't conflict with the poles on either side. So that's not, it doesn't get lost in the light poles because it's in the center median, whether you're coming or going. And it is smaller, I agree, but I think it's more majestic based on its height. And it makes a bigger announcement, much like we talked about the Pearland signs as you're coming in and out of Pearland. It's a very tall, look, here you are, you're in this now. And then the branding goes with this size and shape, but with this type different. So that's my opinion. I would like to see center poles for the either end, tall ones, and then as we discussed in the middle. That's just my opinion.
Bubba? Yeah, push Trey's button, will you?
I usually do.
I know you do.
So I know we've had discussions in the past about the medians along 518 being maintained by TxDOT, right? So my concern with the lower signs, while I think aesthetically I like them better, could they possibly be covered up by any kind of foliage or shrubs or plants or anything that the state may plant there?
So we've had conversations with TxDOT along with KFB, who helps along with our maintenance agreement about what takes place in the medians. To install these, anything that's there would be removed, and then in our conversations with KFB, they would like to have something go back instead of just having just a sign or concrete or just nothing. And so I've asked our Parks and Rec department to go ahead and start looking for quotes from landscapers to see what kind of vegetation can go back, and whether it's brick, whether it's rock, whether it's flowers and plants, to go back for specifically for the sign here on your left, the lower sign, just to make sure that anything that grows there can be easily maintained and doesn't maybe not reach the height to be in the way of the signage itself. The one on the right, we would still have to probably do some type of ground treatment somewhere because the construction itself would tear out some of the existing vegetation. But given its height, ultimately you could plant almost anything there within reason, as long as it can be easily maintained.
And the height difference between the two is a foot, give or take.
Yeah, a couple of feet. But the signage size, the one on the right, you said is about 2 feet?
The one on the right is looks to be 26.5 inches,
All right.
top to bottom, and then the one on the left is 62 inches and 5/8.
5 feet, guys.
So that's a 5-foot sign coming into downtown.
And the one on the left is only
2 feet of the
Feet off the
Friendswood.
ground.
No, I'm sorry.
It's 2 feet off the
it's 2
ground.
feet
It's
off
2
the
feet off the
ground.
ground.
Yes, sir. It's 2 feet off the top edge of the foundation. Yes, sir.
I know this may be a silly question, but these do comply with the sign ordinance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That wouldn't be.
That's
wouldn't be good.
Aubrey makes sure.
Personally-
Aubrey makes sure before any of my silly ideas get over here
Because, yeah, you may want
There,
to check.
that they're
just
taken
to make
care of.
sure.
And the same folks that we visit with TxDOT regarding the maintenance agreement with these signs are the exact same folks that we visit about the flowers and the plantings and the medians as well before we do any of that. So they've all been notified and have all given us the okay.
The ordinance with the city, right?
Yes, sir.
Sign ordinance, yeah, I think so.
The one on the left is probably my favorite, primarily because the signage is so big, 5 feet. That's huge. And it's not that much shorter than the tall, narrow one. And so I like I'm going to call it short squatty on the left. And for those reasons, I like the idea that it's a 5-foot sign. The Friendswood and the downtown will both be much bigger to read. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody gives theirs. That's what we do. So,
I'm in favor of the squatty sign. As long as it doesn't get covered up by plants.
Yes, sir. We will bring something, as mentioned, when these do get installed, the ground's going to be disturbed, and everything's going to have to come out while these go back in. In the meantime, in one of the next meetings, we'll bring forward a couple of plans to see what can be put back in its place, and we'll make sure that it doesn't continuously get covered up.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
since I disagree, and I'm going to stay disagreed, what's presented to us today for a motion is whether to pay for the proposal as presented, which is $36,000, which includes the sign on the left.
Correct.
So we're really not here to vote on whether we like that or not. We're here to vote on creating a motion to approve as presented. So we're not.
Or amend it. We can always amend it.
If there was, so just the way that it's currently being discussed, if it moves forward with the short squatty and then the other signs, the dollar amount here does not change because that's basically what's been presented. If there was an amended motion to remove the short squatty for the tall, then I would just ask for the board's authorization for you guys allow me to move forward with the amended motion and the updated invoice as presented by Bay Area, the signs and electrical.
Okay.
So that way we save time and we can move forward.
Correct.
Do you
No,
have a
I'm
timeline?
I'm happy to save time, but I'm not changing my vote. So I'm figuring out how best to move forward.
If
So I can just vote nay and be
You could just-
outvoted,
yes,
so
sir.
we can move forward.
And
Yeah.
to your question, once a purchase order is approved, which would mean once it's ultimately hopefully considered and approved by City Council, it's about 6 to 8 weeks for fabrication and installation.
Okay.
So, all right. So the proposal, once again, sorry, is for 4 signs in the medians and 2 on each end. That's what we're going to approve or disapprove.
That's correct.
And where they go is based on discussion that we don't have to complete. That
No.
The wayfinding and all that stuff is
Correct.
We're good with that. We can just start the process.
A motion can be made to approve as presented in the quote that was provided by staff, by Bay Area Signs and Electrical LLC.
Got it.
That outlines the current, what I perceive to be the wishes of the board, with the two gateway signs, the shorties on the bookends, and then the additional 4 signs throughout downtown.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying, Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everybody understand what we may be voting for? Any more discussion, comments, questions? What is the wish of the board?
I'll make a motion that we vote to approve the budget for the signs as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the proposal that was put before us from Bay Area Signs and Electrical LLC in the amount of $36,253.30. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
The vote is 4-1. We're going to move forward with our signage. And we should see some activity by 2 months from now, guys. That's
Yes,
a good
ma'am.
thing.
All right.
Okay, now we go to 4B, which is to consider approving the updates to the downtown improvement plan to incorporate the vision, mission, and objective statements. If you remember the last workshop, we presented what Chris and Ron had kindly done for us. And there was one thing that we did correct on it, or change, not correct. Wasn't an error, but we changed. And we appreciated Chris and Ron doing that work, and Ron very kindly gave you the credit, Chris. So that's very nice, thank you. And he's not here to say it again, but I know he would.
Yes, that's fine.
And so we appreciate that. Are there any other comments or questions about that document? It's just to update us, keep us moving forward, keep us aware of what we're trying to do. Now, hearing none, what is the wish of the board?
Move to approve the updates to the downtown improvement plan to incorporate vision, mission, and objective statements as written.
Second. You got it, Paul. We'll let you second. Thank you. Give it to Paul. Any other comments or questions on this? Once again, thank you for doing that. And it's kind of you to say. Anyway, any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the vote is 5-0. We're now going to move to the work session topic, which is the discussion regarding any future Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation projects. And this will likely be on our agenda for here to in perpetuity, because we always want to be aware of what we can do for the downtown and keep an open mind, because we don't know what could come up. So this is a list that we had created, if you remember, at one of our work sessions. And Stephen, would you like to bring us an update, please?
Sure. And so some of these items, we've just, actually, congratulations, the board just finished completing with the street signage completion. At the previous meeting, there was also the vote for the actual street signs, not the wayfinding, but the actual street signs. So those are in fabrication. The welcome signage is what the board voted on today, what was considered the welcome signage, as well as updating the downtown improvement plan. So we're knocking these off pretty quick. The downtown sidewalk extensions, I've tasked our engineering department to go ahead and take a swing at looking at sidewalks and either the lack thereof or those that are in need of repair on the side streets off of FM 518 within the downtown district, to go ahead and try to increase the walking mobility. This is, while it is a priority, it's not unless the board directs me otherwise, it is probably something that we would look to do either with an EIT or an intern, either over the course of this next year or next summer, as they really start getting into it. It's really easy to get links. That's as easy as a Google map, but sending somebody out to go look and to see what type of impediments in the environment might be present, oak trees, fire hydrants, you name it, what might be out there, that's going to take a little bit more time and effort. And our engineering department, as awesome as they are, they're swamped at the moment. So that is a project that we do have on the burner. Additional lighting, there has been some conversations as the existing downtown lighting project closes out. Some of the areas that were either omitted or missed for various reasons during this project, some of those being French Church, some of those being areas where easements were not able to be located, or that we omitted altogether because the right-of-way just prevented way too many problems and issues just for the scale of the project that we currently had underway. The overhead wire relocation is still something that is up on a higher threshold of a burner, if you will, with our engineering department to visit with the consultants about doing a kind of a one and done. In discussions with Comcast and AT&T, their preference at this point is to have the city take the reins, if you will, and have a one and done project to go ahead and locate a duct bank or a way for them to relocate their lines if we choose to do so. Basically, they don't want to be on top of each other, and they don't want to fight for real estate, and it's very, very crowded on that side of the street. Some of the other items that have been
On that note,
yes,
just
ma'am.
real quickly while we're on that topic, have we found a consultant that does this work?
We have two, that one that we've worked with before on separate issues that does do this kind of work, and then we have found an additional one, so we're having conversations with those. We have to do some fact finding, or they will need to do some fact finding before they can give us an estimate that I'm comfortable bringing back to you, because it is a lot of groundwork. It's not just looking at the plans that we may have on file. It's also TxDOT. It's also any other entity that might be underground out there, and then along with TNMP, and then the companies that have the lines up there as well, to see what their requirements will be. So it's extensive, and so hopefully I can get a quote soon and bring you guys back something.
So you are talking to two
Yes.
consultants?
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Good.
The
Paul, that's why you're on this committee. I hear you.
other items of note that have been discussed previously are public safety improvements. I did visit with our chief of police about anything potentially that could be funded by the EDC downtown. That would be related to public safety. And before I move on, I'm just going to go to some pretty pictures here. But before I do, this list is not extensive. So if there are others that the board would like me to tack on here for the next meeting, or you feel free to email them to me at some point, we can bring them up for discussion at our next workshop.
We still have wobbly poles, not wobbly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Not wobbly. We
Understood.
don't want them wobbly.
Understood.
I just,
But-
one thing that I think we can include on the lighting project is the fact that removing existing lighting is part of that. So we may have completed or close to completion with the caveats that you offered to the original lighting project, but it's not done until the other ones are removed. So I don't think we need to lose sight of that, because we're not gonna get to uniform until it's uniform.
Yeah, and there are
point.
some individual poles with street lights on them that can be removed
Good.
with wires hanging over the span of the street.
Mhm.
That would help.
Are we aware of where those poles are? Would you mind?
Mhm.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Then we have some information specific.
Some of the items that, and I think I've presented this before, public safety items, flock cameras and intersection monitoring cameras for public safety. These are not really expensive items. However, they can be yearly costs depending on what's put out there. The flock cameras may take only about $3,000 or $4,000 to install, but there's a yearly cost on those. Intersection monitoring cameras, depending on what the preference is and what's installed, could be anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 in the intersection, and that's a one-time cost until the maintenance or until they do go, technology catches up with us and they have to be replaced.
What did Chief Rogers recommend?
And for him, flock cameras and the monitoring cameras, both, those are really the only thing downtown that he could think of. We did ask about potential for the old blue light phones, or the blue light, the panic buttons. That those are
Kinda
kind of have gone to the wayside now that cell phones are everywhere.
Yeah.
But specifically just downtown, that's what his recommendations were. They do like to be able to see what's happening at the intersections, of course, and then the flock cameras have become an invaluable tool in both folks entering and exiting the community, and having their license plates, basically, if it's been entered into the system as either stolen or having some other issue, it's a really quick alert to dispatch in order for them to take action.
Can we get some information maybe for the
Sure.
next meeting about moving forward with that, and what the recommendation from Chief is on the numbers, of cameras and monitoring
Yes, ma'am.
systems that he would like or would be productive, whatever the process is?
Yes, ma'am, for sure.
We have those cameras at each of the gates at NASA entrance and exit.
Good.
I feel strongly that this is a good idea, but I'm not sure all of our citizens do. With an invasion of privacy issues maybe, and or spying issues, or somebody's watching me issues. I don't know that this needs to be taken to the general public. I mean, it's our job to decide those sorts of things, but they're not good in and of themselves, right? Not everyone's gonna like them. Not everybody's gonna like the fact that they're being watched or tracked. So I just wanna, for the record, state that it's, not everyone is in agreement that this is the good thing. I am, but not everyone will be. So I don't think we're in a position to put it to any kind of public vote or anything like that.
I think it's I think you're saying it very well, and it's an excellent point.
Just recognize that they'll see them, they won't know what they're for, mostly, and it's our responsibility. So the backlash and or the protests are certainly fall on us, but I'm willing to raise my hand and say this is a good thing to do.
Thank you. Any other opinions on this?
My apologies.
I personally think it is a public safety item in the sense of keeping people safe, and if it's something we as an organization can do to help our community, and Chief Rogers and City Council supports that idea, I support it as well. So, thank you. Any other comments?
No, ma'am. I'll have see if I can get Chief or somebody, his designee, to show at the next meeting or at the next workshop, whatever, however we decide to present this, and bring some information for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Before I move on, if there's anything else that the group would like me to tack on for conversation or for information gathering prior to the next meeting for potential items, it doesn't have to be here. It can be over the next couple of weeks. Just let me know. But before I put the PowerPoint or the agenda together, and obviously if you come up with it on the spot here, we can talk about it. So.
Well, and you know, when we're talking future projects, we got into the Christmas business this year, and that was a future project.
Yes, ma'am.
And so there may be after this year some other future Christmas projects that we want to fund. So just kind of think about that. Where are we in all that process?
It's a perfect segue.
Thank you.
As we stay here, no, this is a perfect spot for it because I did get information that the tree and everything that was ordered or that was approved is good to go. The Parks Department has worked hard on securing donations to potentially have decorations for the tree this year. If you recall, the EDC purchased the tree, and it's a pre-lit tree, very tall, very pretty, but it did not come with ornaments or decorations. Those were added on costs. The Parks Department has gone out and solicited donations to see if we could potentially get one of the decoration packages, a classic Christmas decoration package, along with some other small amenities around it, including the EDC logo and sign on an entryway for it. They've been very successful, and so hopefully we'll have an item that would be covered, if not all, at least in some part, by donations, and it wouldn't come back to the EDC. It would be covered out of the parks budget.
Thank you.
So it'll be decorated as well.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have now moved on, unless there's anything else that we'd like to discuss for future projects. We can now go to 6 for reports, which the first one is Keep Friendswood Beautiful.
And I apologize, I do not have any pretty pictures this go round because my picture taking time got interrupted by a bunch of rain, and I thought better of it. What I can tell you is all the boxes are complete. Those that were funded are all complete. There's a final walkthrough taking place this week if weather allows, if not next week. And the project closeout is coming soon. What they were waiting on really was the final coats of the sealant that covers those boxes to keep everything weatherproof. If you haven't gone around and looked, I will suggest getting up close and personal to a couple of them because there is a lot of detail on some of those that you can't see just driving by. And the parks folks did offer a tour. If anybody wanted to partake in an air-conditioned tour, we can put you on a park. We can put you in one of the parks department buses and take you one by one if you'd like to go take a look at them. And I will say that this has spurred some other conversations. There are now others that are going to be taken as projects outside of the downtown area by other groups. So they have, I think the individual who paints the bridges that has done that, I think she's picked up 1 or 2 of them, and she would like to do those. And then we have a couple others in the works. So just with the little bit of a spark here, it's now started to spread. So that's good news. And they weren't kidding. They weren't kidding with the tour. So if anybody does want to take a tour, by all means.
Can we let you know individually?
Absolutely.
All right. And if there's more than one that wants to go, we can try to coordinate. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. Any other comments? I do think this project has really brought a nice life to Friendswood downtown. Could we have an update on the illumination project, please?
Yes, ma'am. And I realized when I looked at this earlier that I put these in the wrong order because the good news should go first. So I'll take this backwards. All the lights that have been installed are operational. They are all, you can drive out and it'd be a whole lot easier to see during the darker hours once the time change is over, but they are all operational. We have a substantial completion walkthrough for this Thursday. So that does include the lights themselves, along with some any other areas that may need to clean up concrete or brickwork if that damage was caused by the construction. We do still have 6 locations without the easement agreements. This is, it's engineering, myself, members of the board have tried at these locations multiple times, multiple conversations, and unfortunately, we just haven't been successful. At least one of these areas is going to go under different ownership at some point in the future, I think. So we'll try again there. But this is 6 locations, 6 lights, basically that we're looking. Pfeiffer and Sons, we have 3. Just so the board knows, we have 3 lights ready to be installed in locations that have already been approved in downtown. Due to the mobilization costs, Pfeiffer does not mobilize for less than 4. So we're going to work hard to get one of these. I have an idea on one, so we can get the 4th, and then that way we can get them out and we'll have one less. We are pushing hard again on some of these, but ultimately, if you haven't been out at night, they really look nice. Even early in the morning, they really do look nice. We've walked under them and run under them a couple times in the early morning. It's very nice.
On the Vergata location, is that the same thing as Gilbreth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll talk to him.
Yes, sir. And I believe you helped me once before with the sidewalk easement there, so that was on my list. I believe Larry's currently is up for sale, so that may change ownership at some point. And the Comerica Bank is an absolute conundrum, so we'll continue working on that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And it really does look nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. It's been a nice addition to downtown. We're moving now to C, if there are no other comments, to receive and discuss the downtown business update.
Yes, ma'am. So just real quick, Aubrey has put together her business report for the month, and these were the businesses that have either moved into or performed an alteration downtown. C&Y Fertility, Bear Creek Behavioral Health, the Lemon Drop of note has taken over the old Friends Uncorked building, and that is supposed to be, I believe, kind of like an antique or old time soda shop and gift shop. We're to look forward to them opening. Cooper's Landing took over the spot that Jaddo's once occupied. If you haven't been to Cooper's Landing yet, it's a good addition to downtown. And then ProTech Automotive, the name slips me what used to be there prior, but it was a mechanic shop as well, and this fits that little spot perfectly. So all great additions to downtown, and happy to have them.
Definitely. Well done. Glad to have them is right.
Making money.
Yes. More tax dollars.
Speaking.
That's right. All right, let's move to
Speaking of, perfect segue
the
again.
financial report.
Yes, ma'am. So the financial report for July of 2025 started with the beginning fund balance of $2,734,360 with a healthy revenue of $74,113. No expenditures for the month other than the $1,332 provided to city staff for services. The ending fund balance is $2,807,141 with an unencumbered balance of $2,751,947. The majority of that outstanding is to both Pfeiffer and Sons, and then there's an $18,000 expenditure waiting for the closeout of the art boxes, the electrical boxes.
And this 36,000 will come out of it after city council approval.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll be honest, when you said that number, it did give me chills to even think we have that much.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. Okay, any other comments or questions about this financial report? Hearing none, we are to adjournment. Any comments or questions before adjournment? Do I have a motion? Thank you. Second? We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.